All right, welcome everyone. We are on episode 12 of season 3 of the Aok Island campaign. And let's just get things started off right away with a recap. What happened last time?
Somebody take the reins. It can't be me every time.
We started with you guys.
Last time we started with us looking up at the clock tower, and we had just witnessed the Tanari assassin character was standing right behind Alexander's squeeze. And we made our way to the clock tower, where we came across what appeared to be another shrine, some sort of puzzle to solve. But before we dug too deep into that, we made our way quickly upstairs to try and check up on her. And on our way up, we were accosted by this Tanari assassin.
Accosted is a kind way of putting getting stabbed in the neck.
Yeah, it wasn't great. It did not go super well. But somehow all of us survived against this guy.
Somehow, Alexander went on a tear, is what happened.
Yeah. Alexander did go on a tear.
Thank goodness for Alexander. He saved our butts. And then we found out from this Tunari through broken language that he was able to understand us, and Dorian was kind of able to. Okay, they. My apologies.
It is literally 5 different entities.
Yes. Yes. Rolled into one. So Dorian was able to pick up some of their chitters and chatters and understand some brief snippets on what they were saying, but not all of it. We discovered that this was in fact a shrine, and that it had something I cannot remember the Aoka that this place is connected to, but it's like a Sisyphus equivalent, where they have to push the sun across the sky every day. And in order to do this puzzle, it is quite literally a Sisyphean task to push this grinding lever all the way up the top of this clock tower. But unfortunately, the mechanisms that are kind of holding this place together are pretty busted up. So we were not able to achieve that. We'll have to come back to it later. Meanwhile, Alexander, what happened with you up at the top of the clock tower?
Well, I found another master, essentially, of, this time of, I forget exactly what he said, but he was a master. The Tanari assassin, Alexander and him had some time to discuss. Oh no, that was before we left. Anyway, that happened slightly later, but he found the people who had been led, not astray, but we had been led there by the Tanari. The people who we had saved, who were being chased and hunted in the graveyard, he had helped lead them out after Stone went on a tear himself through many of the essentially police force searching for them.
Look.
So the Tanari was able to get them back up to the tower. That's why we saw Lyra. She was not there though. And
what? Yeah, she was.
Was she there? No, yes, she was there initially. Yeah. Initially, then she left. Yeah. So we had a conversation about it. She helped explain kind of what happened. And then we decided that it would be best to lead the people out now because we had cleared that path. We knew that we could. It was going to be the best opportunity to do it now rather than later, and kind of set us up moving forward for the next stage. And yes, Alexander met another master in the Denari Assassin, and he's fangirling a little bit.
Yes. And what happened when you led those escaped prisoners out? So when you led them out, you got to that courtyard outside of that cathedral of Saint Istolt, where the evangelist had previously been, and the bodies of all of the supplicants who had died there just last night were just like laying out around. And at that point, the escaped prisoners were like, "Are we better off out here or in there?" And you were like, "Well, you're out here now. Good luck."
They'll be fine. What could go wrong?
They know the way
Totally
back in if
nothing.
they change their mind.
All right, I'm back.
Yep. They sure do.
We
Oh,
took care of the thing that caused all of those bodies, so
Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
they're
Okay, so
probably fine. We can't babysit them all the time.
then what
Just
happened?
can't. Well, we found out that Lyra fucking took off for the tombs.
Yeah, she gone. She going right for it.
So we decided we were gonna go to make sure she didn't die. Meanwhile, Anastas did something pretty cool.
Yeah, super cool.
Both during the clock tower portion and at the end of the session. So I'll just go ahead and let Anastas
Yeah, well,
talk about what he did.
Earlier in the day, I had gone over and discussed with Diocese Order, with my contact, the highly esteemed and reputable and trustworthy High Constable. And he's like, "Yo, you can get your meeting with Marana, but here it's gonna be." And I'm like, "I'm trusting you quite a bit here." He's like, "I know you are. I certainly won't betray you at all, ever. Wouldn't dream of it."
Wouldn't
Big wink.
dream of it.
And I marched my giant skeletal happy ass into the garden.
Well, first off, you marched your giant happy skeletal ass to Diocese
Might.
Yeah,
we did do so. Interim scene. We did make it to Diocese Might. I had a little sparring session with Nikitas, and I laid out my plans pretty bare. I like, this isn't right. I know you're gonna do whatever you're told, but just letting you know, you're gonna be told to fuck me up. And so later that evening, Nikita's is like, "If I see you again, I'm gonna kill you." And I'm like, "Well, such is the way of things." And we made it to the evening garden.
You just didn't think it was going to be so soon.
Yeah, we didn't think it was going to be so soon. Where my dear friend and ward, Constantine, was hung and their skull crushed. So he's dead as hell. And then upon discovery, was also greeted by none other than the Nikitas himself. And here we are.
God, this
But
place
the
is
rest
rough.
of the party does not know about it.
Does not know at all.
You are completely alone.
Not in the slightest.
Yep.
I don't think we even knew about your first interaction over there. As soon as you met up with us in the clock tower, I'm like, "Hey, come over here and help me with this puzzle."
Yep.
It's like, okay, okie dokie.
Okie
Anastas is
dokie.
going off to do more Anastas stuff. I'm sure that'll go great.
And we are going to begin with said party who is spelunking down into the catacombs in search of the tomb of the Emperor and hopefully Lyra. Now, at this point, did Alexander? I know that we had talked that maybe you ran off. Do we think that Alexander ran off, or do we think that Alexander waited for his allies to go with him?
He would have gone first, kind of, his usual attempt at scouting, even if he's not the greatest at it. But wouldn't have gone like bolting without them. We split the party enough. He's
Sure.
kind of feeling that maybe splitting the party all the time isn't our best.
So you guys are together. You're staying in communication. Just that Alexander is in the front and scouting things out.
Yes, sneakily.
Got it. Okay. So, Alexander, if you are trying to navigate down here, you're going to be the one that has to make this check. And I cannot recall if I said that it was... You have the map, right? Because we stole that from Lyra?
Yes, we should. Well, we have, yeah. Did we steal it from Lyra? Or did we just have... We had another... No, did I steal that? I have it in my notes that I have it.
Somebody swiped it from her.
That did have been me, then.
I think it might have been Dorian.
Yeah, it
Was
was
it Dorian?
definitely Dorian.
Oh, yeah, Dorian
map.
pocketed it. That's
Rascal.
right. Dorian pocketed it. Oh, he's taking after me.
So, whoever would like to can make a cunning check to try and decipher the map and find the way down into the crypt.
Oh, that's definitely me.
Yeah.
And I get a +2 to this roll as well between
Sure do, and that's good because
Cartographer's
it's
Tool and the Cartographer Boon.
and it is a hard check, so it's -4 to start with, so you'll only be doing it at -2.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Success.
All right,
Excellent.
all right. Still got it.
The corridor you are following ends in a tangle of rubble and debris. Earth has spilled in from the ceiling and covers the floor. Amidst the discarded stones, Lyra hauls on rocks and dirt, picking away at the pile, muttering curses to herself. Tears run down her cheeks, you can see, leaving ruts in her mud-encrusted face. Well, are you going to help me or not? She growls through clenched teeth. The door, Dorian, from what you can tell, is probably on the other side of that rubble.
Oh, that's a problem.
Did you arrive with it in this state, or was it a trap?
This is how I found it. Now come on, put your back into it.
Alright, yeah, I'll start helping.
Dorian will continue to examine the map for maybe potentially other ways around that aren't quite as direct of a route.
Sure. Okay, so we're going to have another cunning check from Dorian. We're going to have a strong check from Alexander.
Oh,
While
no.
this is happening, Stone, Talia approaches you and pulls out a bag, and she just says, "Sit down."
Stone will sit.
She, out of the bag, pulls out like wrappings and gauze and some like herbal cures and things that she starts like grinding up and mixing and applying to your various wounds.
You are a healer, then.
I know a little bit. All right, you better.
I've
Cross.
only ever rolled like one.
Do you want to roll it, or do you want me to roll it?
I'll fucking roll it.
It's 1d6.
I believe in you, Don.
I don't wanna.
I believe in you.
Hey,
okay,
I'll
okay.
take a 3. I'll take a 3.
Hey.
Average, fuck yeah.
I'll take a 3. I'm up to 5.
Hell yeah, baby. That's maybe one hit.
That's
You
maybe
can
a
cast
whole
maybe one
hit.
spell, and you can get hit maybe once.
Yep.
Same
Look at that.
same
There's a whole lot of
modifier,
probability on the table now.
What was that?
same modifier for the
Yes,
match check.
correct.
And just a straight roll for me.
Just
Nope,
a
not this
straight
time.
strong check.
Oh god, alright.
Oof.
Ouch.
No.
All right. So Dorian, looking over the map, this tomb was made with one entrance and one entrance only. And then you're looking at it and you see something in the back, but the map is actually like smudged a bit and it's old and decaying, and it looks like there might be another entrance at the back, but you are not sure where it leads. Alexander, you come up to Lyra and start trying to move rocks out of the way. More dirt is pouring in from the ceiling, and as you move a larger boulder, the whole thing shifts, and you can hear groaning above you.
I don't think this is the one to pull.
So just to be clear, it was after you pulled it out, and like everything like shifted and settled underneath it, and then now you can hear the groaning above you. Lyra stops until the groaning stops. That doesn't sound good.
This is too precarious to get through like this. This is not something we should be toying with.
It's the only way. We must get through.
Well, I'm not entirely certain about that. I think there might actually be another way, although unfortunately
We
this
can't take that
parchment-
way. She snaps suddenly.
You know of the other way. Why can't we take it? What's wrong with it? This is not clearly not a way to get through.
This is the way that we are going to be going through, because we are not going through the other way.
You've taken it before.
I considered taking it before.
What's over there?
The other entrance leads directly through the old Loken throne room, which, right now, is at the very top of Karstop, inside the palace, where Pontiff Istold is now in residence. We are not going to be going that way.
Wow.
Uh,
That would be a little difficult to get through, I suppose.
A little difficult. Yes, I would say so.
We can't just
So,
be using our hands
anyways.
to cause a cave-in, though.
Well, come on, meat hands. Give us a hand. She points at Stone.
Stone looks at his hands. I suppose they are made of meat.
But who
And he'll
amongst
stand
us
up
isn't? Maybe
and
not us.
walk towards all of this, and then he'll look down at her and just kind of like stare at her for a second, like really intently,
Mm.
and not say anything.
And not just standing there and not
Just
not
stand
digging.
there.
Yes, we use our hands to dig. Dig like this.
My friend Stone, if you would so kindly help with this situation, particularly not to cause a cave-in, that would be wonderful. You are
You
quite
would.
strong.
First, I would like to have a little bit of information from you or your friend, Alexander. Why are we here?
I made a promise, and
I did not. Why
fair.
are we here?
Does you like me?
One would think that you of all people would be interested in your emperor's tomb.
In desecrating a tomb of a Hadran king. Yes, that rates very highly on my list of things to do.
Do you know
I
what
will
is
ask you.
inside that tomb?
I have an idea of what is inside that tomb, but what I know for certain is in that tomb are the remains of a Hadran king.
Well, the remains of several hundred Endarn kings. Let us be very clear.
You're
the
making your
correct term
case
is
better by the
actually
second.
Emperor of the Endara. No, he wasn't technically a king.
Please answer the question, or I will do no such thing.
Stone, if I may,
You may not. Answer the question.
Stone, you might have an idea of what is in here.
I'm curious to know, as a player, Stone could give less of a shit about what's actually in there. He's tired of getting dragged around by this person for reasons that she refuses to explain.
Sure. I am going to have you roll a cunning check as Stone.
That's not going to go very well. Okay. You got it. Cunning. He's so cunning.
Ow!
Failed by 4.
Okay. Stone, do you know what the Endaranax, when finally he was assassinated, was buried with? There is a crown. Do you know of this crown? Crown of the Endaranax. It is
Not
said
specifically
to have all the knowledge of all of the Endaran emperors who ever existed. It's right now trapped beneath a wall of earth, inside a city filled with undead. Do you think that perhaps your people, the Hadra, would like to have something like that back? I think that they would.
And I'm sure you're doing this completely out of the goodness of your heart.
Well, I think that they're going to pay for it. I'm providing a service, very valuable service to them. They are going to pay for it.
So you work for the Hadra.
Were you hired?
I was not hired. I
you
have an
doing
entrepreneurial spirit.
You are a grave robber?
And a bit of a death wish, it seems.
Grave robber.
The only reason I am entertaining this in the first place is because I do agree with you on one thing, which is that I do not wish for any of my people's heritage to remain here in Karstop, to continue to be tainted. However, if I am to proceed, then I will need certain assurances from you, and he looks at Alexander, from you, that this crown will be returned to my people, at which time you can negotiate however you see fit with them.
I don't think anyone else is going to be paying for it.
And I, of course, will honor that as well. This could be very important in moving forward.
Stone begins to dig.
Okay.
And
Stone, make a strong check.
Arky barky. I succeed.
Okay. So, Stone, you are digging through this earth and rubble, and every so often you can feel things shift above and move. But after a few moments, you put a big, meaty hand into the earth, and when you pull, you see the flickering of firelight on the other side of the rubble. Looking down, a small hole has appeared in the earth, and beyond it, you can see a brilliant door made entirely out of gold. Anastas, you are inside the Rotten Temple Gardens, at the base of the inner wall of Karstop. Before you, Constantine's body lies hanging in the tree, headless, with a sack around its neck, where you know that the shards of its skull should be.
Yeah.
Nikitas behind you says, "I told you to leave."
And I simply cannot comply.
Is this the way that
Let's
it's
go
going to
then.
be then?
I suppose this is the way it shall be. A duel?
It's the only way to end it. Okay. Give me 1 second. Pause that.
And that Doom music kicks in.
Yes.
I'm so excited for this, dude. Holy shit.
Okay.
My body is ready.
I'm glad
What?
yours is.
What is the appropriate music here? Let's try this. Nope, too much.
Thinking like a quiet library setting, really.
Gwen's boss music.
Ooh, Gwen's boss music is great.
Boss music would be pretty sweet.
Don't die.
Okay.
Hey,
Don't die.
Anastas, can you see where we're at right now?
I'm at 99%. Yes.
Awesome. Okay. And based on your speed, you go first.
Are we all in one zone?
Yes. Yep.
All right. I will use my turn to first enrage as a free action. I am then going to use my healing item of I have it in my inventory as better sap. What does
Okay.
that heal?
Does it say on the description?
1d8.
Sounds good.
Just says stack good shit.
Oh fuck! I was really hoping it was like a 2d4 situation and not a 1d8, but here we go. Oh my god. Oh, everybody, give me your luck.
I'll blow on the dice for you.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
Full send.
I'll take 5 for sure,
That
and then
is
I will take the. I have not made any attacks this turn, so I qualify for the defensive maneuver.
Okay.
And I will gain a second opportunity to pass all defense checks until my next turn.
All defense checks. Okay. Awesome. Sounds good. So, Nikitas.
So my mask splits open. I enrage. I grab my wheel. I smear some snap into my sensor hanging in my chest.
Yeah.
And I prepare to fight.
Okay. Nikitas comes up to you, a wicked axe in 2 of his hands, a long 2-handed hammer in the other. He walks slowly towards you. He waits for your sensor to fill you up and restore your health. And when that is finished, he nods at you.
And we go.
And he swings. Okay, you're going to make 2 defense tests right off the bat. They're both at -3. He swings the axe in from the right and then comes down with the hammer towards your head. The first attack hits you hard in the side, breaking into your ribs, dealing 6 damage from the axe. And then 6 is after the protection, so it's 9 minus 3.
Hold on. I have a second chance to succeed.
That's true. Yep.
So I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
I do fail.
Okay.
Um,
For the second chance to succeed, we're always just going to take the first protection.
Okay. And then I have another 1d6 or 1d4 protection.
Okay.
So I block 5 of it.
Okay, so you take 4 then. And then second attack.
Oh my god.
Oof.
Okay. Get a second chance though.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Damn it. And that time I protect 6.
Okay, so you only take 2 from the second one. The hammer, it seems, does not have the same damage as the axe.
The
Okay.
exact same rolls.
Yeah.
Back to back.
That's crazy. Anyway, I then return fire immediately with the wheel.
Yeah, so he like hits you twice hard, knocking you to the side, and using he's opened himself up a little bit doing this though.
Okay.
And make your attack.
At
0. Nothing.
Nice.
Okay.
succeed
Do you
for
have
9.
any additional damage, or is the 9 just the damage?
The 9 is where we're at.
Okay. So he like describe what does this look like? How does
So,
an
I
outside
take my
counter?
2 hits. I grab onto the haft of his axe and I smash the wheel across his face.
The wheel cracks a little bit as it hits his face, and he turns to the side. You can see that there's like a minor crack in his skull, but it is not bad at all. He absorbs 7 of that 9 damage, taking only 2. And then he roars in your face and activates his berserker.
Oh. Fuck.
Okay, and then is going to swing twice more on you.
Succeed the second attack, fail the first attack, but protect a total of 10.
Okay, so you block all of the damage. So you take the axe hit. Wait, he's got berserker. Okay, so that's what, D6?
Extra D6.
Extra D6. Okay, so we're just gonna roll that. 4. So his total is 13. And you protected what? 10?
10.
Okay, so you take 3.
All right, let's race to the bottom, baby. So he like swipes me, it hits me low, he comes in and I like shin check it, and then he comes in with a second swipe, and I sidestep to attack, countering with a big overhand wheel strike.
Yes.
Boom. 6. Roll. Succeed, this time for 11.
Okay. But now that he's got Berserker activated, he's also blocking D4. That's only 1. So he blocks 8 and takes 3. What does this look like?
Yeah, same overhand take. Boom, I kick him in the chest to get some space. He readies his next 2 attacks, I'm guessing.
Yes. So he's backed up on the ground a little bit. He comes in low, swinging both of them up towards you. 2 more defenses.
Succeed. I sidestep successfully a second time. And then I spin maneuver, blocking the second attack,
Yes.
and then returning fire again.
Awesome.
Boom! I fail this one though, so I missed
So
the attack.
he catches the wheel that's like coming down with both of his weapons, pushes you up and back, and makes some distance between the two of you.
But with when I miss an attack,
you can
because of
second
aneurysm,
try to hit. Yes,
I get
exactly.
a strong versus strong check.
Okay, so his strong is 13.
And mine is 16.
Wait a second. His strong is more than 13. What is going on here?
I don't know.
His strong is 18.
Oh.
So -8.
Yes, correct.
So -8?
Yeah.
Ugh. Succeed critically.
Oh!
I push him back 5 feet so he catches it. I like front kick him in the chest. He stumbles back, and as he takes a knee, he eats the free attack from the wheel yet
Do you want to
again.
confirm that critical?
I don't think this counts for that, but if you want me to, yeah.
It's like a skill check.
Okay,
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I get my free attack, and this time do succeed.
Fuck yeah.
Did I add I did, so it is only 8.
It is only 8. Okay.
What's 8?
And so with the rage, he absolutely is going to. He's at 7 plus 1d4, so he absolutely blocks it. Okay.
Yep.
Sounds good. Very evenly matched here, and we are going to cut back to our friends who have gotten to the door.
Oh, jeez.
Oh god damn it.
Okay. So, all right. After a little bit more digging, you guys have been able to crawl your way through this opening that Stone created. Now, Stone, the opening is large enough to get everyone else besides yourself through. You're going to have to make one more strong check in order to get through yourself, because you'll have to make the opening larger.
I'm so ready to get crushed by rocks.
Could we possibly help him from the other side?
You certainly could help him. Yes, I will give
Yeah.
you favor then. You have favor.
Have favor. Got it.
Okay. So Stone, you moving the last bits of earth are able to pull yourself through. The door before you is an impressive feat of stonework, carved with thousands upon thousands of minute figures. Hadra all, even Tanari and Yora amongst the legions of Indara and Karovid. Above them all, at the center of the door, is a great horned creature, like a bull or a dragon or a horned cat wreathed in flame. At the foot of the creature is a scepter or wand, with a large orb at one end. Suspended in the flames above the creature is a thorny, spiked crown. Flanking the stone door are 2 braziers, blackened with soot, but empty. Still, a strange warmth spreads from the door. In the language of old Lokai, above the frame is a poem. Dorian, you read the poem, and it says, "Pass here the airs of fire, from one life to another." What would you guys like to do?
Is that airs as in like the air that we breathe, or airs as in like next in line?
Next in line.
Okay.
As in the Lokai Emperor puts on airs.
What kind of passageways do we see? How many around us? Where are we looking?
So basically you've come out of this collapse and like it leads down a long way. There's a staircase going down into this grand door. That is the only thing in this passageway. There's no side passageways.
Okay.
It is just this grand door.
Can I see? Can I like check for traps? The old classic.
Sure.
Is there
So
a
you're going to
way
be
as
like
we're
searching
carefully going
around.
down?
Describe how you're searching around. What are you looking for specifically?
Yeah, I imagine that Alexander will be looking for things like wire traps, pressure plates, things like that in particular.
Sure.
Knowing that, hey, things like places like this might have some secrets that they don't want to
Yeah.
be
Yeah,
revealed.
absolutely. Okay.
In his experience, yeah.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and make a vigilant check.
We lost talent.
We did lose a talent.
Just a normal roll,
Just a normal vigilant check, yes.
Bet.
baby.
Talon is
Yes.
returned.
Good.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Solid check for traps roll.
Hey,
Very.
we haven't had to do one of those in a while. This feels like a place to do one of those.
It's not a bad one.
This of all places feels like the place.
All right. So you look around the floor, you're looking for pressure plates. You don't really find anything like that. Heading up the wall, you do find the seam where the door will open up, but it is you can't see through it at all right now. Clearly, there's some mechanism that's holding it together. You find no handles or anything of that nature, but no obvious signs of traps. What you do find when you get up to the wall, you can feel a static energy coming from a warmth and a static energy that tingles your hand. It is reminiscent of corruption or magic.
Feel a faint.
Could you read that
magical,
poem again?
corrupted presence here.
Poem says, "Pass here the airs of fire from one life to another."
If I remember correctly, you had mentioned that there was some source of light down here, a fire that was lit by the door.
In fact, the door seems to be glowing itself, faintly, and there's warmth coming off of it. But there are no fires here right now. There are those 2 braziers that are unlit.
Doran, you think you could light those?
I give it a shot. Am I able to just kind of manipulate flame like I do for my fire tube to just light them without having to, actually cast a spell?
Am I feeling generous today? I am going to have you roll a resolute check.
Okay.
If you fail, you can sense that you will have to take some corruption in order to cast. If you succeed, you will be able to do it without taking the corruption. But so to be clear, on the failure, you can choose whether or not you want to do it or take the corruption.
Sure. Any modifier?
No modifier. Okay.
Oh.
So flame leaps from your hands into the 2 braziers, which light immediately. There is no immediate apparent effect. Until, after a moment, you hear the scraping of stone, and the doors part into the walls, disappearing. Beyond the heavy stone door is an enormous chamber, circular and dark. In a wide circle at the chamber's center are statues, each several stories high, each depicting a regal-looking Andaran, all the same, and yet each slightly different from the last. At the center of these, to your surprise, is a lit fire, which burns an unnatural red, casting the entire chamber in a sanguine hue. Around the statues, arrayed in intricate pattern of spirals about them, are hundreds, perhaps thousands of urns. Some painted and carved, others mysteriously bare. What would you guys like to do?
Dorian will stand in awe for a moment, just soaking it all in. I've never seen a find quite like this. This is incredible. And he will kind of slowly limp his way around and examine some of these Indaran carvings to see what they're denoting.
Lyra turns to Alexander and just says, and then to everyone else and just says, "Gentlemen, we are going to make a lot of money." Dorian, as you wander past these carvings and urns, you hear faint voices speaking words you cannot quite make out, even when you strain to listen. The voices seem urgent, imperative. And then one voice, louder than all of the others, breaks through. "You do not belong here. Get out." The voice is deep and clear and sharp, and it rings out from above you, where descending a spiral stair, winding around the central statues, is a solitary Indaran figure, clad in black and gold armor. He is lithe, with long white hair and gnarled oaken skin that is wrapped in runes and tattoos. "Leave now, or you will join the dead forever. It is your choice." With a crawling sensation, you realize there are more of these creatures around you, clinging to the shadows and peering from the darkness. Dozens of them. All right, Anastas, you are locked in combat with Nikitas in... Oh gosh, and my scene keeps disappearing on me. Where is it? Okay, view scene. Let's activate it. All right, perfect. Okay, you and Nikitas each have taken damage. You just pushed off of one another, and are taking a moment to resettle yourselves. Neither of you is breathing hard as Najit. You don't need to breathe. You just take moments to realign your bones and get your bodies back in order before the next assault. As you are taking this moment, you're sort of circling one another now. Yeah. And Nikita says, "You have learned a lot. Not much is obvious, but my code dictates that I cannot let you succeed with this plan of yours."
And your code would allow for the Pontiff to do as he wishes.
I have sworn my code to the Pontiff, and you have done the same.
And yet I was given orders so blasphemous that I could not acquiesce.
"It is not your place to decide," he says as he swings again towards you. Now, I believe it was just your turn because you had done the pushback thing. Yep. So he is going to attack with 2 attacks again.
I critically failed that defense.
Okay, confirm that critical.
Motherfucker. This is the last thing we needed. Oh, thank God.
Okay, so just a normal failure. So he swings down with such force. You put the wheel up to block it. It comes down on you, almost breaking you in half. However, you're able to push aside at the last moment to turn it to a glancing blow and take... Oof. Okay, so it's 15 damage base. You blocked 12 of it. And take 3. The second attack comes in from below.
I would role play more, but I'm very nervous, so I can't critically defend.
What the fuck?
Yes. Okay. Confirm that.
Oh my god, Talon.
We don't
Okay.
critically defend, but
Didn't critically defend, but
I did succeed.
Even
So it comes
so.
in from below, it glances off, the second swing from the hammer comes across, and I do like a no-handed cartwheel
yes.
over the swing, and I return the attack. Oh, I canceled the attack instead of making it. Boom, with a 14 damage roll.
Hell yeah.
boy.
Get 'em.
Okay, so he blocks 11 of it, but still takes 13 coming through.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay,
Wah.
so you do this like no-handed cartwheel and then come up. He's not expecting the speed with which the Pyrodicida comes up, grabs him under, like between two of the arms and wrenches one over. It's like broken, hanging from the side. He has to like crack it back around to get it back in place. He roars again and then swings twice, like coming from one from the left and one from the right.
Just like a X scissor.
Yes, yep.
I duck under the first swing. The second one's coming right at my face. And I succeed again!
Just like Matrix bend back,
I like,
both of
yeah,
them
they're coming,
over.
They're coming from either end, and I like somersault in between both of the swings. I take a low prowling stance. I swing at his legs. Again for 12 as I crack him across the kneecaps.
He blocks only 9 of that, so taking another 3.
Nice.
Okay, Nikitas goes to the ground. One of his arms is like on the ground and he has to pick it up and like reattach it and like clink it back into place. He puts his the haft to like help himself stand, and oh gosh, give me 1 second. And maybe you are right. And maybe... and maybe Astolt has been led astray. But this is not the path to change, Anastas. We have other foes we must fight. Together.
I made this plea with you as we sat in your sparring pit, Nikitas. I told you these truths. I wanted to do this together. However, the pontiff that now sits on that false throne leads us to damnation, to corruption, to a betrayal of the forms we were given. And if you cannot accept that, then raise yourselves and swing again.
Make a persuasion check.
I am trying to be scary.
Okay.
I did not succeed.
In many ways, Anastas, you are still a child. And with that, he swings twice again.
Boom! Oh my god.
Coming in.
I'm like cold and calculated. I'm reading his wild movements. And he cannot get any traction. He's like struggling. Hammers are throwing rocks into the air. And after his second attack, I come down with another overhead blow. This time only dealing 10.
Okay, and so he you hit him in the chest and it breaks apart and just comes back together immediately. And he swing. We're gonna do one last round and then we're gonna switch back. He swings again, relentless.
His first attack makes purchase. I block 11.
He deals 12.
So I take 1.
Take 1.
And he cannot. His desperate attempts at striking me are just glancing and glaring.
Okay, your attack.
For 12.
He blocks only 8 of it, taking 4.
Nice.
He is down to 3. Broken bones are lying around him in shambles. He's taken blow after blow without flinching. He down on the ground one last time. You can hear the breath, which tells you that he is like going back to a different time in his mind. He is being reminded of mortality. And just says, if this is how it is meant to be, this is how it is meant to be. Give me everything you've got. And with that, we are going to go back to our friends who are down in the catacombs. Okay. All right.
Almost through his first health bar, Talon.
Okay, so who is here? We've got Alexander here. Oh, let's get that music paused. Alexander's here. Dorian is here. Stone is here. And do we have a Lyra? I don't think that I do. So we are just going to take a... Oh, that's like a bard. Man, I swear I had something for her. Well, in any case, you guys are in here looking up at this fire, and those creatures that I described. Several of them have appeared around you, hiding in the corners, stepping around like statues and blocks. And the main one at the top of the stairs walks down towards you, stopping right at the top of the stairs. I said, be gone from this place. Wait.
We mean you no harm. I would like it if our leader could speak to you, and I can translate for us. I say in Indaran. Motioning towards Alexander.
So the creature crosses its arms and turns towards Stone, saying, "What is your purpose here?"
My purpose is to understand where I came from.
The creature looks down, its face filled with sadness and regret. Then I am afraid the only answers we have for you are of pain and suffering and defeat.
This I know, and yet I would still know. I wish to know everything.
You profane this You desecrate this place with these you have brought with you. Why?
I am not here by my own choice. I am here by theirs. I cannot speak for their goals and motivations, only my own.
Well, speak.
Well, you, Dorian kind of nudges Alexander. Tell them you're much better with people than I am. I can translate for you, but you have the silver tongue.
Oh, that's usually reserved for soirees and balls, not so much this, but I will do what I can.
Well, then soiree like your life depends on it, because it does.
May I ask the name of who I am addressing? Mine is Alexander.
We are Neferani.
Does that name mean anything to Stone?
You can make a cunning check.
Or Dorian, through his several years of study of the Indara.
Sure. Either of you can make a cunning check.
Oh,
I missed
no.
by one.
Oh,
Rip.
Dang.
Oh, Dorian,
Whoa.
jeez.
Close.
Missed by
Dorian,
0.
the Neferani were the Imperial Guard of the Emperor. They were adept pyromancers and even more adept warriors, and were among the most elite fighting force that existed prior to the fall of Karstadt. You have no idea how these things lived this long.
I give a slight bow of reverence, or however the Indarian race would show respect.
Sure.
I've heard many tales of your kind. How have you survived this long?
Those secrets are not for you.
Of course. I did not mean to pry.
And why have you remained amongst the living, deep beneath the earth?
We exist now for only one purpose. To await the return.
The return.
The Indaranax cannot die.
What do you mean by cannot die?
He will return. We await his return here. To guard the place of his returning.
What is this return to be like, to look like, and when? Do you have an idea?
Even the wisest cannot tell.
And the crown of the Inarnex lies within
What
here.
care you of such matters, human?
It is a legend into and of itself, much like you.
And you will be a legend too, if you do not leave this place.
Tell him why we came, Alexander.
Yes, Alexander. Tell them why we came.
I don't
Or
think
maybe
they'll-
don't tell them why we came.
I don't think they'll like the answer.
We don't have to
Dorian.
include that it was for money. We can spin it so that we are portraying ourselves as the messengers towards their next Rex.
I
And
count
Maddie's
12.
little
How many
boy.
do you think you can take?
Are you mad?
Mm,
These things are they're the most elite of the pyromancers. They guarded the emperor throughout its entire lifetime, their entire lifetime, and far beyond.
And they're
Well, all
about
that's
200
going-
years old and have not fought any real battles in that time. I'm going to take my chances.
While all of this is going on, Stone is going to ask, how is it that you've come to survive this long here?
He looks up at the flame and with a bow of reverence says, "The eternal flame has granted many gifts to us."
Do they seem corrupted at all?
Make a vigilant check.
Okay. Two.
They do not seem corrupted. Their skin, however, is covered in like runes and tattoos, some of which glow faintly in the firelight. They are clearly using some sort of pyromancy to probably forestall the effects of corruption and also aging.
Okay, but they do not seem touched by Banat's curse.
They do not seem to be touched by Banat's curse, no.
It's very curious.
Who is the only... How do you know... Worth the risk? I guess it must be worth the risk. We seek to return the crown to its rightful owner. The return has come.
Ooh. Anyone gonna assist Alexander with that?
I
Stone is
suppose
staring
I
at
would
Alexander in absolute gobsmacked, jaw open disbelief.
No,
Dorian
that's good.
will
That's good. Go with it. Go with it.
Dorian will assist by putting the best spin on it grammarly through his Indaran translation.
Okay. Make a persuasion check.
Isn't that discreet?
Well,
It's a
I just
lie.
want everyone to remember we could have walked out of here.
Yup.
Okay, so
We could have just walked out. We could have just walked out as soon as we saw there were people in here. I'm just saying.
Okay, you can make a discreet check,
Okay.
but you have to use the worst of either Alexander's discreet or Dorian's discreet.
Which we know which one that is.
I have a 10.
That is better than I expected.
That is also
You will
still
get
not great.
favor because you're being assisted by Alexander,
all of my words exactly.
but it's
as
at
I
a
said.
-6.
Oh no, there's no way.
There's no way.
Oh, we've committed to this course of action, you foolish people.
Oh,
That's
there ain't no way.
There's a way.
There is a way. Favor is basically like a +5, so we're really looking at
Cool.
like a 10 -1.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
That's exactly how we should
Yeah.
look at this.
Here we go.
Unbelievable.
I translated the fuck out of that.
Oh my god, thank you,
Oh
linguistics.
my god. Unbelievable.
I want you to know that your first roll was a 20. And then a 3. So, fantastic. Okay. Then you must be judged. And, he turns around and walks towards the fire. The other Neferani that were around you, kind of like come up behind you and gesture that you should head towards the flame. Okay. Back to our good friend Anastas in the final throes of combat with Nikitas. All right, let's get back to our garden ruins. Activate. How can I keep this? Keep that there. Okay. And no, let's do.
I can't believe
Oh,
we
yeah.
pulled that off.
This'll work.
Yeah. That was
All
We're
right.
all absolutely still going to die.
Oh, for sure.
All
Might
right.
not have happened
We
yet.
delayed it.
Anastas, I think that you went last. Okay. Nikitas comes in. His attacks seem to be stronger and crazier now. You are going to be making your dodges at -8 now, rather than -3.
Okay.
-8?
That's a
Okay.
lot.
It's when the boss gets low and goes berserker mode.
Yes, he's moving much faster now, darting from place to place, pushing off the ground with such
Nails
force that
me.
huge bursts
The first
of...
attack nails me, but I
Okay.
block 13.
You block 13 and you take 14. So
I take
one
one.
damage chips through. You are dodging back and forth as quick as you can. However, glancing blows are coming from all over the place. The second attack is at 12 damage. You take
And I
another
block 9.
3.
So a total of 4. I'm still alive, baby.
You're still up.
And I will use my last essence to deal max damage.
Okay. How much is max damage?
16.
16. Okay. He blocks 11 of it, taking 5. What is this? That brings him down to 0, -2. What does this look like?
Eats both of the first hits. They shatter into my rib cage. They crack my pelvis. And then I walk up to him as his weapons are still in the ground. I take my hand over his head, bringing my fingers into his eye slots, and I drape him back over Pyridicida like he's prostrating, and I exclaim, "Pilgrim, witness the strength of your creation." And I punch his head into Pyridicida, caving the helmet completely in.
He drops to the ground with a huge, thunderous, dust and
the
dirt.
bright flash of light from my
Yeah.
essence being
Yes.
consumed.
Absolutely.
Everyone in Karstop hears a lightning strike.
Yes. Okay. He, you can see his whole body is quavering on the ground. The bones are rattling. His head, rolling apart from his body, turns and looks up at you. I have lived long enough on this earth, and I've realized something. Death is the natural order, because through death we find change. There is no change without first an end. We are like this garden, overgrown, festering, not allowed to die, not allowed to live. We were not meant to live forever, Anastas. And I do not wish to. Grant me an end, and in so doing, allow me to change, hopefully for the better.
And I grant this wish not only for you, old mentor. I grant this wish for all of mankind. And I put him out.
Nikitas' body lies there, destroyed, amidst the overgrown garden. The wind rattles through the trees, and you can hear Constantine's corpse up on the hanging from that tree rattle like wind chimes.
I walk over to Constantine's body and I quick yank the rope broken, and I take some time to place Constantine's corpse through the breaking wheel, and I walk back.
But as you are doing that, as you're handling Constantine's body, you take that pouch that was hanging around its neck, where the shards of his skull now reside. But you don't feel shards of skull. It is heavy and lumpy. And when you look inside the pouch, you see 3 rocks. Not his skull. Rocks. He may yet be alive.
I clench the rocks and drop them. And then I march over to Nikitas' skull and helmet, and I pick it up and carry it with me towards Diocese Might.
Okay. So you are choosing not to join your friends right now.
I should. I should do that.
There's a passage in the palace! Caw! Boy, those crows are crazy here.
I will affix Nikitas's. Is there something that denotes an archbishop, or like is there like a sigil or some sort of thing that like Nikitas wore, an insignia, rank, anything?
This was an unnecessary thing. We've had the same bishops for so long, except for the recent changeover of purity, that he had no need of adornment that wasn't like built into him already. However, you see both of his weapons, gilded and brilliant, with thick iron, like red iron, coming off of them.
Yeah, I take the hammer.
Excellent. So,
and his helmet. I got both.
Okay. So, the hammer is a long hammer with precise, bastard weapon, unwieldy, and massive.
Oh, nice.
Actually, can I just take it from his character sheet and put it onto yours? I might be able to. Boom, it's on there. You can name it whatever you would like to.
Ooh, what is the name of...
You'll have some time to think about it.
Yeah,
but first, from the entrance to the gardens, you hear a soft voice that says, "You seem to be running out of friends. Hopefully, I can help amend that situation." Standing at the door is a cleric, cleric of Diocese knowledge, wearing a plain white cloak that is dirty and soot-ridden at the edges and the sleeves. Her skull, like yours, is completely black, and she has only a large gold earring that's inset onto her left side that dangles down a little bit.
I am in need of allies. What brings one from your house to this hallowed place?
I heard of your predicament, and I know where your friends have gone. And I can tell you, they are in dire danger as we speak. But I have need of the knowledge that is hidden in that place which they have gone. I would like access to that knowledge. In exchange, I will aid you and your friends in facing the danger that can be found therein.
What do I call you?
I am Yelesnia, High Priestess of Diocese
High Priest-
of Knowledge. That name triggers a memory in Anastas. That was the name given to you by Valentian when last you were in Gareth.
Oh!
And with that, we are going to switch back to our friends inside the temple here. Have you approached the fire, and if so, in what order are you doing it?
Dorian will go first.
Okay.
Alexander will go second.
Stone's not going anywhere near that shit.
Stone's not going to go near it?
Doesn't really want to. He'll bring up the rear.
Okay. Before you is a brilliant, flickering bonfire. Inside a large stone brazier, there are steps that lead up and into it. It seems to be sustained by nothing at all. No oil or like wood, no fuel of any kind. The fire seems just to emanate from the bottom of this stone brazier that it stands in. The light thrown from this fire is a deep red, casting you all in a sanguine hue. And the Neferani that you have been speaking with bows his head as he comes close to it. You bear witness to the undying flame. It is the very flame that was brought down from the mountain of fire by Barulo. Very flame that gave our people strength. That flame was placed in his temple, and upon that temple's destruction, it was saved and brought here in secret with the Emperor to forever dwell in his tomb. The Emperor was not there were 81 emperors. Each of them here has their own chamber, but 18 short of the 99 lifetimes needed to ascend to godhood. But one day the Emperor will return. We shall have our 82nd Emperor. And then, in time, there will be a new Aoka. The Andaranax. If you are true, if you are righteous in your intention, the flame will judge you favorably. If instead your way is of deception, it will treat you not kindly. Go then, be judged by the flame.
Dorian will take a deep breath, and out of his satchel, he'll grab that black book that brought him on this journey in the first place, and just clutch it tight as he walks up and holds his hand out towards the flame.
So you're going to have to walk all the way in to the flame.
I'm dipping a toe. How's it feel?
The flames feel warm, but also familiar. You feel that shifting of magic, that movement of that subtle movement of the air that you have become attuned to in the past few months as you have dipped your toe into pyromancy. You can feel the source of the power emanating. It feels strong.
I reach out to it with that touch of pyromancy that I have, and just sort of bend it as I walk into the fire.
Okay.
Embrace it.
Roll 1d6.
3.
The flames lick around you, burning your skin. You can feel blisters forming around you on every bit of exposed flesh, but primarily your legs. You take 3 fire damage. Now you're going to roll strong -3. Okay. The fire grows hotter and hotter, unbearably hot. It is eating away at your skin. You scream and leap out of the fire backwards, unable to find the blessing from within. You have been judged unworthy. He turns now to Alexander.
Reynard, are you okay?
Yeah. I'll be all right.
Stone looks at Talia and kind of, gestures at Dorian and says, "Could you help him as you helped me?"
I will do my best. And she administers first aid, healing Dorian 3.
Oh,
I am
thank you.
unsurprised that one such as yourself would be unworthy. However, care you not to bask in the flame, Stone?
You would have me enter the flame.
If your intentions are righteous, perhaps you can find redemption. And he stares pointedly at, your curse name that is it tattooed or burned onto you? I don't remember.
Branded,
Yeah.
And what if I do not seek redemption?
Then our business here is concluded.
I have met the spirit of my ancestor. He is little better than a beast. I do not know if redemption means anything to me. But I will step into your flame and be judged.
Okay.
Step in the fire.
All right. Stone steps into the fire. The flames lick around his skin. Roll a d6. And then strong minus the result.
I mean, okay, 2.
Take 2 damage.
You got it. Back down to 3. And then strong minus 3.
Minus 2. You only got 2.
Oh, minus 2. Got it.
Okay. Don, Stone feels the fire burning, but also invigorating, setting right. You feel your soul fall into alignment in a way that it has not been in some time. You have an option. You can heal 1d4 points of permanent corruption, or you can advance 1 mystical power to master level from expert. You still must spend EXP to do so, but it would be unlocked for you. Or you can sacrifice yourself to the flame, restoring it, taking 1d6 permanent corruption, but allowing the flame to more easily grant its gift to the next person who passes through.
Whoa. It's kind of a hard choice.
Dang, yeah, no kidding.
I mean, so well, okay, so first of all, I don't have any mystical powers at expert. I have a bunch of stuff that affects mystical powers at expert. So
Okay.
I think that that's not really an option for me.
Well, I would say that it would unlock one for master
Oh, as in
level.
like so I wouldn't need a teacher.
Correct, yes.
Got it. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting. And then healing 1d4 corruption would be nice, but I could also roll a 1.
But that would put you outside of if I roll a 4.
It would put me outside of if I roll a 4.
Yeah.
Actually, it would put me at if I roll a 4.
Sure.
Is it at or above?
Once you reach your threshold, yeah. So once you hit
so
it.
if I got a 1, I'd be at 4. So if I rolled a 4, I'd still be at my threshold. But it would
Yes.
still be... Or I could make it easier for someone else to use it, huh?
Mm-hmm. But you take 1d6 permanent corruption when that happens.
That would be bad.
That would be very bad.
Stone is gonna heal corruption.
Okay. 1d4. Come on, big money, no whammies.
Big money, no whammy.
Okay.
I'll take 2.
Okay.
I will
It's not
take
bad, yeah.
2.
There we go.
That
I can
that
cast
puts,
without...
you can
that gets me
cast
out of my window.
one spell per combat without worry.
That is totally fine.
Awesome.
Daddy can work with that.
You have been judged. Let your soul be in alignment. Anyone else? Dorian, you feel the fire in you burning. Because of your specific elder spirit, you could use 1 essence to get the blessing and maximum on permanent corruption, if you would like to try again.
Dorian will slowly get up to his feet, teeth gritted, half of his clothes burnt. I want to go again.
You have already been judged.
I want to go again.
So one of the others says, "You cannot," and the main one holds up a hand. He is being called. Approach.
And Dorian will step in, letting out the scream again, and activate the last of his 2 essences.
The flame engulfs you. A pillar of fire opens up in this chamber, spreading light. You can feel the corruption pouring off of it. So Alexander, or rather Dorian, you're going to take D6. Everyone else is going to take D4 fire damage as this thing explodes backwards. And that's going to be 4 for everyone that is not Dorian.
I go down.
Stone falls to the ground, knocking his head. Immediately, Talia rushes over and begins trying to rouse you. Don, can you roll 1 death saving throw?
Yeah, that's just 1d20, right?
Correct.
You got it. I rolled a 4.
Okay. You are good. Between yourself, between Talia and one of the other Neferani, you are pulled over to the side and roused awake. She does not have any more poultices, but she is able to heal you 4 to bring you back up to 4. Dorian, while inside, you heal you heal 4 permanent corruption as your soul comes into alignment with this maelstrom of fire pouring around you. You also get Barulo's Blessing and can advance 1 mystical power to master level. Which one are you going to choose to unlock?
I'm gonna go with Barulo's Fire, the pyromancy skill tree.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Solid.
All right.
It's at novice right now, but just to add a little more to it, once the pillar goes up, you guys can hear screaming from inside, and Dorian is just howling, and Indarin screaming out, "Barulo! Cleanse this corruption from me! Burn it off of my soul!" And it's just... And then I step out.
The flame dies down. It is now greater than it was prior to you stepping in. All of the Neferani gathered around are kneeling. You have been chosen by Barulo. I did not think that it was possible, but you have been chosen. You now have Barulo's Blessing. Okay.
Well, what's that? Let's not just skip
Barulo's
past
Blessing is you got the unlocked to the master level, and also maybe something else that we'll talk about later.
All right.
But you can just mark down that you have Barulo's Blessing now.
Hey,
Okay.
Pat,
Yeah.
I'd like to revisit something really quickly if we can, and it's just
Sure.
it's a question that will become pertinent later.
Yeah.
Hopefully. When you exceed your threshold,
Yeah.
you gain 1 permanent corruption when you do that. Is that how that works?
It is either that or 1d4. This is one of those that I feel like we have to check every time.
It's because it doesn't happen very often.
Yep. Okay.
So,
Surprise.
I'm just gonna-
rolls.
I'm going to tell you the reason that I'm asking. Maybe it won't even be like a thing that can actually come up, but I'm thinking about having Stone offer to use Isho's Requiem to see who the next Rex is.
Ooh.
But that's 1d8 temporary corruption instead of 1d4.
Yeah, you take 1d4 permanent corruption if your total corruption reaches the character's corruption threshold during a scene.
Okay. So I might just put myself right back where I was, or worse, if I roll really high on that D8.
Yeah.
Dang it. I really want to be able to use that ability, but I just feel like it's never worth it. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Just wanted to ask.
All right. Back to Anastas. Anastas, you are in the garden with the woman whose name I just said and now can't remember. High Priestess Yelesnia.
Yelesnia. Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, sounds I have no option but to trust you. Know that I have been betrayed once tonight, and did not and will not allow that to pass without consequences.
I see that. You are very capable, Anastas. And furthermore, I think you are right. Which matters for more than you would expect it does.
I take it you're aware of the situation in Kashtop in the clergy.
I am. Your
what are
ward,
your
Constantine,
thoughts on
is even now being taken into the archives. With my help, we can free him.
Well, show me the way.
For now, our first stop is your friends. And she leads you down into the catacombs.
On the walk, I will use another of my incense.
Okay.
That is...
Ooh.
1d4.
Yeah. Make it a d6, because she assists you.
That makes you feel a little better. All right.
For what it's worth, I do not believe that Nikitas held anything against you. I believe that in his heart he knew that you were correct. But his oath stood in his way.
There was no other way. I knew after our first meeting this would happen. I expected it not to be so soon. We lost a powerful asset. One I hope I can replace.
You cannot trust Diocese knowledge. Theodrana will not side with you.
Knowledge of one's enemies comes highly welcome. Thank you.
Yes.
What of Marana?
Marana is surrounded by liars.
Should I help you, would one be able to gain me access to her directly? I'd rather not break the door down.
It is going to be very difficult to move you around the city now. But with a little knowledge, one can unlock doors that have been closed, or find windows that will open with just a little bit of budging. I can get you a meeting with Marana. She will not trust you, but she is good. She will hear you out.
Well, perhaps we'll be on more even standing. I expect to assume control of Diocese Might as soon as I get my compatriots out of whatever pickle they are in.
Of that, they have entered the crypts of the old emperor, of the blaspheming emperor, which many had thought had been destroyed. However, they were not. They were merely covered up. I believe that it is guarded by the spirits of the emperors. There is curse there, and perhaps danger more. But much to be found. Come, we must hurry.
And we make way.
All right. The rest of you... What was that?
Just Carlucci ran to the bathroom.
Actually, I was just going to say let's take a quick 5. And we'll be right back.
Sounds good to me.
All right, and we are back. So Anastas and Yelesnia arrive at the back of this chamber just as Dorian steps into the flame. The pillar of flame blows up, knocking everyone back, and then as it dies down, all of the Neferati bow to Dorian. So you witnessed that whole thing.
My lord.
Seems we have come at an auspicious time.
Auspicious. That is yet to be seen. Dorian, what arcane ritual have we found you in?
All of the Neferani turn to face the two Najit that have now entered the chamber. Each of them draws a weapon. Some of them have spears and halberds. Others have wicked-looking swords. And as if in unison, they all move to combat stances, looking towards you. The lead one shouts to you, to Anastas, and says, "You have entered the tomb of the Emperor. You are not wanted here. Leave now, or be destroyed."
A friend.
Brothers.
A friend.
But
Brothers.
He's a friend.
Dorian will say in Indarin to them, placing a hand on the lead pyromancer's shoulder. They are friends. Friends.
You are friends with these scum.
we share a soul. Was not
Long
chosen
story.
by us, but by one of yours.
A soul? Of what does he speak?
We have been touched by Isho.
A fragment of him.
A part of them.
The Neferani takes a step back, and he looks to each of you. Okay. It is true then. Prophecies are coming to pass. There is convergence. I see now. Our time is coming. Do you, either of you, wish to be judged by the flame?
Is this the knowledge you speak of, Yelesnia?
Yes, I wish to be judged. And she is with you?
And So shall I.
I do not know, but it seems as if it is a friend of a good friend of mine.
It is your choice, chosen one. Shall she enter or not?
We owe her a great debt.
Who are you? I speak to Anastas's friend.
I am Yelesnia, High Priestess of Diocese Knowledge.
And what brings you here?
I have, for a long time, studied the ways of the Endara, and have heard the power that yet rests here. I believe that our peoples do not need to war with one another, and that we can learn from mutual exchange of knowledge. I humbly submit myself before you. It is your choice, chosen. Shall she enter or not?
You may enter.
Lesnia walks up into the flame. The fire, the tongues of flame are licking up around her. As a Najit, she feels nothing. All of her clothes are burned away, leaving only a skeleton. Then the flame wraps up around her and goes immediately dark. In a flash, the entire room is pitch black. You can see nothing. There are gasps from the Neferani around you. And then the light returns. Dim, dull. The fire creeps up her bones, outlining each of them in a thin, hazy red. She turns around, her eyes filled with the flame. I have seen truth, she says. And she steps out of the brazier, the undying flame completely gone. And that, unfortunately, is where we have to end today's session.
Oh shit! Oh,
What?
Thank you guys
What?
for
Alright, guys.
joining. And we will see you all probably in like 2 weeks or so.
Wait a second. Wait a
We need
second.
friend.
Who the fuck is this person?
yeah. Wait a minute.